Hey movie lovers, this is your Film in Fact. And before we dive into today's cinematic journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss our deep dives into the films everyone's talking about. We're revving up for a no-spoiler ride through F1, the latest big-screen blast of high-speed drama starring Brad Pitt as the fiercely talented but deeply flawed Sonny Hayes. But stick around, because there's much more to this movie than just tire smoke and engine roar. In fact, by the time we reach the closing laps of today's breakdown, I guarantee you'll have a whole new perspective on this adrenaline-charged story. Ready? Let's hit the throttle. Picture this. The sun blazes down on Florida's legendary racetrack. Sonny Hayes, a man whose life has been marked by spectacular victories and brutal crashes, is just crossing the finish line in what should be his last race. A triumphant moment, edged with the shadows of a career sidelined by addiction and heartbreak. Any fan of sports movies knows that our hero's past isn't just scenery. It's the fuel driving every scene forward. His time with Lotus in the 90s ended after a devastating crash, almost taking his life and erasing his shot at racing immortality. Now, instead of front pages and podium glories, Sonny's story unfolds in the flickering lights of back-alley pinball arcades and the haze of failed marriages. But what really sets F1 apart? Right off the bat, director Joseph Kosinski, whom you might know from Top Gun Maverick, ensures you're gripped not just by the spectacle but by a sense of real emotional stakes. It's not the cliched comeback we've seen 1,000 times. Sonny's not just racing for redemption. He's asked by his former teammate, Ruben Cervantes, played with magnetism by Javier Bardem, to lift the underdog APXGP team out of the ashes. The world of F1 is a pressure cooker, the kind where legacy, loyalty, and cold hard cash are always vying for pole position. Now, if you love tense team dynamics, you're in for a treat. Enter Joshua Pierce, the ambitious British rookie who sees Sonny as his biggest threat and the potential reason he might get booted from the team if results don't improve. Their relationship is the movie's real engine. Pierce is desperate to prove himself, sharing fast laps and sharper words with his seasoned counterpart. The team itself feels stretched to breaking point. APXGP is last in the Constructors' Championship, and investors are breathing down their necks. It's up to Sonny to not only drive, but to ignite a belief in victory where none exists. A classic against all odds scenario. But just wait, the emotional beats here feel fresh, fueled by personalities that clash and collide as violently as the cars themselves. Curious how Sonny faces the unrelenting pace of modern F1 technology? The film doesn't shy from showing that his old-school instincts are both his superpower and his curse. When he hops into the sleek, sophisticated machinery at Silverstone for a test, he's out of his comfort zone, outgunned by younger drivers who grew up on simulators and social media. Yet Sonny is quick to spot APXGP's fundamental flaws, pushing the car and the story to the edge, and sometimes over it. A spectacular crash soon follows, leaving both the team and viewers on edge. But Kaspar Smolinski, the pragmatic team principal, isn't looking for perfection. He's searching for greatness, and Sonny, battered but unbroken, earns his seat. Alright, here's an interesting moment. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next pulse-pounding breakdown, because Sonny's journey into the British Grand Prix introduces some of the most electrifying race sequences you'll ever see in a movie. It's a dazzling mix of blinding speed, split-second strategy, and emotional tension. Sonny and Joshua's rivalry explodes when Sonny refuses team orders to yield position. Their cars collide, leaving both drivers limping away from a promising start. This isn't just about rubber meeting road. It's about two lives colliding in the crucible of professional sport. Ego, fear, ambition, and a raw desire for recognition. From this point forward, F1 transforms from a sports drama into a psychological chess match. In Hungary, Sonny adopts unconventional methods, manipulating the intricacies of racing rules to help Joshua claw back to the midfield and score APXGP's first points of the season. The film's strategy sequences are a treat for fans who crave the nitty-gritty of motorsports. You'll glimpse the clever tactics and mind games that make racing so much more than driving in circles. Joshua learns old-school tricks. Sonny embraces the value of new tech and simulation, and technical director Kate McKenna is persuaded to redesign the car for head-to-head combat. The team begins morphing from a scrappy underdog into a legitimate contender, and you can feel the chemistry shifting, enemies evolving into grudging allies. Just as the movie's pace peaks during the Italian Grand Prix, a rain-soaked spectacle, Joshua's stubbornness puts everything on the line. He stays on slicks in treacherous conditions, risking everything for a shot at glory. Here, F1 doesn't just deliver heart-pounding visuals, it delves deep into character. Joshua's refusal to heed Sonny's advice nearly cost him dearly when his car flies off the track and bursts into flames. The rescue sequence is edge-of-your-seat intensity, but what matters most is the aftermath. Joshua, battered and benched by injury, and Sonny, rising to keep the team's hopes alive. The recovery period brings new challenges for APXGP. Sonny delivers consistent points performances, but the unresolved conflict between him and Joshua festers. The dynamic between experience and youth, mentorship and rebellion, reaches a breaking point at the Belgian Grand Prix. Joshua returns to smash records, but his aggression leads to yet another fiery collision. This time with Sonny himself. Tempers flare, alliances shatter, and the pressure ratchets up off the track. A poker game decides who gets the best treatment for an upcoming race in Las Vegas. But even here, mind games rule. Sonny folds with a winning hand, demonstrating that leadership sometimes requires sacrifice and strategic retreat. Love drama fans? The relationship between Sonny and team technical director Kate heats up, offering a satisfying break from the relentless action. Their bond is tested, though, when an anonymous tip accuses her of bending FIA rules for competitive advantage, threatening the team's entire season. The upgrades are stripped, tensions reach boiling point, and Sonny, already fighting the limits of his own body, faces a seemingly impossible task: drive with outdated tech against world-class opponents. Once again, folks, subscribe if you haven't already for more insights on and beyond this incredible movie moment. As the film barrels toward its climax, F1 never lets up on the intrigue. Boardroom machinations threaten to scuttle the team. Whispers of betrayal hang heavy, and Sonny is finally confronted with the bitter reality of his physical limitations. But this isn't the story of a single driver. It's about a community, a family stitched together by the daily grind, the sweat, the sacrifices, and dreams that push people to find meaning in every lap. The final act is a masterclass in tension without resorting to cheap narrative tricks. Joshua, after a period of introspection and growth, returns to racing as a changed man. He and Sonny set aside past grudges for one last focused assault on greatness. When the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix dawns, everything is on the line. Not just the future of APX GP, but the careers and identities of everyone involved. Without giving anything away, let's just say the emotional payout is deeply satisfying for anyone who's ever rooted for the outsider. What makes F1 a standout? And why are the top movie analysts and YouTube creators buzzing about it? It's the film's immersive depiction of the sport. The director's behind-the-helmet perspective means you experience the epic highs and brutal lows as if you were on the grid. Real racing legends appear in blink-and-you'll-miss-them cameos, grounding the story in authentic motorsports culture. The contrast between Hollywood razzle-dazzle and real-life F1 idiosyncrasies aren't always subtle. The movie sometimes glosses over the financial and political chess games that define the real-world paddock. But this remains pure fan service at its best. A celebration as well as a dramatization of the world's fastest sport. Those reviewing F1 on YouTube consistently highlight its strengths and weaknesses. Many praise its glossy visuals and kinetic energy. Kosinski's direction puts you in the cockpit, heart-pounding, adrenaline surging, especially in those high-stakes race sequences. Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem anchor the film with performances that balance raw intensity with moments of surprising vulnerability. The chemistry between Pitt and Damson Idris is a particular standout, capturing the tension and eventual respect between two drivers from vastly different backgrounds and generations. However, critics also note a certain Hollywoodness to the story. Key challenges are overcome too easily, and real F1 complexities, from race penalties to sponsorship squabbles, get streamlined in favor of crowd-pleasing spectacle. The veteran comeback trope feels familiar, but the race day drama and emotional arcs deliver enough unique flavor to keep audiences hooked. Cameos from real F1 stars, some caught in team kits now outdated due to the film's lengthy production, add bittersweet layers for longtime fans. But what about the deeper themes? F1 excels in its exploration of rivalry, mentorship, and personal evolution. Sonny and Joshua's journey from antagonism to mutual respect tracks with the genre's best traditions, while the movie's depiction of technical innovation, risk-taking, and teamwork offers plenty for viewers who crave substance with their spectacle. The script peppers moments of humor, heartbreak, and intrigue throughout, ensuring that every minute feels like a lived-in moment within the fast-paced world of racing. As the credits roll, Sonny finds a sense of closure, but not in the way big-budget sports flicks always promise. He embraces his nomadic life, racing not for validation but for the simple love of driving. The final note is one of earned pride rather than easy triumph. The team celebrates victory, relationships are cemented, and even the bitterest rivals acknowledge the power of shared struggle. It's been over 6 minutes together in the world of high-octane and burning ambition. And if you've enjoyed this deep exploration, remember to smash that subscribe button so you can join us for our next adventure into cinema's boldest stories. Thanks for watching Film and Fact, where every movie has a story worth telling and every fan deserves a front row seat. Until next time, keep the curiosity alive and the passion burning.